My name is Elena, and I'm 27 years old. I live in a small town nestled near the mountains. Life here isn't easy. Every morning, I wake up with dread. Every night, I cry silently. I want to leave this life, but I don't know where to go. When I was a little girl, my world was full of happiness. My mother would sing me lullabies, cook warm meals, and kiss my forehead before bed. My father worked at a bakery, bringing home sweet bread and a smile for me. I had a little brother, Max, who was kind and followed me everywhere. But everything changed when I was 9 years old. One morning, my father left home and never came back. We waited hours, turned into days, days into weeks. My mother cried every night, but I was too young to understand. People whispered that my father had run away with another woman, but my mother never believed it. She sat at the window every day, waiting for him. 2 years later, my mother fell ill. Her energy faded, her skin turned pale, and her smile disappeared. She stopped cooking, cleaning, and taking care of Max. At just 11 years old, I had to take on all those responsibilities. Washing clothes, cooking simple meals, looking after Max, it was all on me. One night, my mother called me to her bedside, held my hand and said, "Elena, you are strong. Take care of your brother. Be brave." Those were her last words. The next morning, she was gone. Asterisk after that, life grew darker. My uncle Robert, my father's brother, came to take care of us. At first, things seemed fine. He bought food, paid the rent, and sent us to school. But soon, Robert started drinking. Heavily. His temper was terrifying. If Max dropped a spoon or I came home late, he'd scream and throw things. One night he slapped me and I was too scared to sleep. The next day, he acted as if nothing had happened. I wanted to run away, but had nowhere to go. I stayed for Max, who was only 8 and needed me. Years passed, and I learned to live quietly. I kept the house clean, cooked meals before Robert came home, and didn't speak unless he asked me to. It wasn't living, it was surviving. At 16, I met a boy named Ethan. He worked at a small shop near my school and had light brown eyes and a kind voice. Every day, he greeted me with a soft hello. One day, he handed me a candy and asked, "You look sad. Are you okay?" I wanted to cry, but just nodded. Ethan started waiting for me after school. We'd talk about books, music, and dreams. He told me he wanted to travel, to escape this small town. I told him I wanted the same. He smiled and said, "Then come with me." At first, I was terrified, but the thought of freedom was too tempting. I left a note under Max's pillow promising to come back for him, and one cold evening, I ran away. With Ethan, for a while, Ethan's small room behind the shop felt like heaven. He made me tea, gave me a warm blanket, and assured me I was safe. We walked through fields, gazed at the stars, and talked about the future. For the first time, I felt loved. But then Ethan lost his job, and everything changed. He grew frustrated, spending days drinking and blaming me for his misery. One night he shoved me and I fell, hitting my head. He apologized, saying he didn't mean it, and I believed him. But it happened again and again. Ethan became another Robert, and I began to feel small and powerless. Still, I stayed hoping I could fix him. When I was 8 and I discovered I was pregnant. The news frightened me, but also brought hope. I thought the baby might change Ethan, give him a reason to stop drinking. Instead, he became worse. When I told him, he yelled, accusing me of trying to trap him. One night, he hit me so hard I couldn't stand. I feared for my unborn child. The next day, I went to a clinic. A nurse noticed my bruises and handed me a card with the address of a women's shelter. While Ethan slept that night, I packed a bag and left. The shelter was in a quiet town, filled with women who bore their own scars, some visible, others hidden. I stayed there until my son, Noah, was born. He had my eyes and dark hair. Holding him, I promised, I will never let anyone hurt you. Life was tough, but I fought every day for Noah. The shelter helped me find a job at a bakery, where I spent mornings making bread and evenings caring for my son. My asterisk small, simple room with one bed and one table felt like a sanctuary. Slowly, I smiled again. I read books to Noah and watched him laugh at the park. But just as I began to heal, Ethan found me. Walking home one evening, I heard his voice. Elena. I froze. He looked worn, his clothes dirty, reeking of alcohol. I've changed, he said. I just want to see my son. I refused, but he grabbed my arm, pleading. I broke free and ran home, shaking. The fear returned. Since that day, I've lived with a constant sense of danger. I check doors twice, avoid letting Noah out of my sight, and look over my shoulder. I want freedom. I want peace. But I don't know how to achieve it. Some nights, I cry, apologizing to Noah for not being stronger. Yet I hold on to hope that one day I won't be afraid anymore. Julia, my counselor, asked me about my life, and I poured out everything, the days of waiting for my father, the fear under Robert's roof, the heartbreak with Ethan. She didn't cry or look shocked. She just listened. Then she said, Elena, you are brave. You survived. You're still here. No one had ever said that to me before. We met every week, and slowly, the weight I carried began to lift. It felt as though I wasn't alone anymore. Julia taught me that the pain wasn't my fault, that love should never hurt, and that I deserved peace. By the time Noah turned 2, life had taken on a new rhythm. His laughter lit up the world, giving me hope again. Then Daniel entered my life. One afternoon at the bakery, a customer walked in. He was tall, with kind eyes and dark hair. He introduced himself as Daniel, and he kept coming back, chatting about small things, books, music, and the weather. Slowly, he became part of my life. He brought books for Noah, helped me carry groceries, and never crossed boundaries. He said, love isn't control. Love is safety. I wanted to believe him. Maybe, just maybe, love could be real. One night, Daniel invited us to a picnic at the park. As Noah laughed, chasing butterflies, Daniel looked at me and said, you don't have to be scared anymore. His words touched something deep within, but fear still lingered. Asterisk, I dreamed of myself as a child, holding Max's hand in the dark, searching for light. Then Noah appeared, smiling, holding a candle. The next day, I called Max. We hadn't spoken in years, but he forgave me. For the first time, I felt peace. Weeks passed, and life grew brighter. But then a letter arrived from Ethan, threatening. The peace I had built, this time I stood tall. I met with lawyers, fought for full custody, and won. For the first time, I felt safe. I moved to an apartment with Noah, and finally, when Daniel said, Elena, I love you for who you are now, I replied, I love you too. Now I live for today, for Noah's laugh, sunsets with Daniel, and the hope that my story can inspire others.